Cheers, everybody. Let me see what's going on right here. Hope everybody's all right. Cheers to the new year. Singers, but fitting like namhlanje. 21. Yeah, it's almost February. As long as it's still January, we're fit to just to console ourselves so that we are still broke. We're just going to say compliment. Hope everybody's having a great day. Mm. Okay, guys. Before we start, I just want to tell you more about the brand that I have right here, Kirsty Wear. Make sure that you check it out, man. We have an online store. Hit me up, DM me. It's another brand that we are pushing, you know what I mean? I'm sure you always see me with a cap. So that is my investment, guys, you know what I mean? It's something that is putting money in my account. And that is what I'm going to actually talk about today, you know. I want us to talk about money, financial talk, you know, a bit. And I just want to start to, refer to Robert Kiyosaki. You know what I mean? I think he's the first person that inspired me, you know what I mean, to take my finances seriously or even to learn about money in general. We know that there's a difference between a liability and an asset. Do you understand? And the difference is that liability is something that is taking money out of your account, and an asset is something that is bringing money to your account. Do you understand? Something that makes sure that you get money. So we live in a generation whereby everything is about instant gratification. You know what I mean? Instant gratification. Everybody's just trying to have fun and just to spend their money. I understand you're still young, you just got your first salary, blow it, man, have fun and stuff like that. But we have to also think about the future. Do you understand? And what are you doing with the money that you have so that when you get fired or when something bad happens, you still can sustain yourself? We have to think, because you can see right now that jobs that we keep, they don't sustain us anymore. People work for 2 years, 5 years, then they're gone because you are easily replaced. Do you understand? Unlike before, when our parents used to work, they could work until they retire. Do you understand? But our generation is different. We cannot work until we retire. We get fired, we get retrenched. You see how bad the economy is. So that means with that money that you are getting at the job that you are in right now, it's very important that you invest it. Do you understand? So I want us to talk more about investments. I want us to talk about assets in general. What are assets? Because sometimes when we think about investments, we're thinking about the stocks. We're thinking about companies that we need to buy, maybe on the JSE. But investment can be anything. When you start a business, whether you're selling socks, whether you're selling T-shirts, I'm selling caps, it's also an investment. It's something that has a potential of giving you money. Let's say, for instance, you buy a cap for 50 Rand, then you print it for like 20 Rand. You spend 70 Rand, then you sell it for like 140 Rand. That is 70 Rand profit. So that has been an investment for you. You get me? So I think that's how we have to start thinking right now. We have to find things that can actually give us money. And we also want freedom, right? So that we can do other things, maybe spend time with our kids. So that means you have to find a way to get passive income. In my previous video, I'm not sure, I uploaded a video last week and I spoke too much. I spoke about side hustles. Make sure that you refer to it. I'll just leave it on the description. And there's different side hustles that we can do that can give us some sort of passive income. The only thing that you have to do, you have to invest your time so that you build something that will give you money. It's that simple, guys. Do you understand? So I'm just going to go through different quadrants, okay? Well, these people who are employed, all right? That is active income that you get when you're employed. So that means if you don't work, you don't get any income. So there's no freedom in that. But I understand that you can use your active income to start a side hustle. So that's why I say that as youngsters, we have to be smart in this day and age. You're earning 5,000 and maybe you know that maybe you're paying 1,000 for the car, for groceries it's 1,000, and for other utilities maybe it's another 1,000, then you have 2,000 left. You don't have to have fun with that. Try a way to find an asset that you can invest in, whether it's starting a business that you believe in. And I'm not saying that it will be successful, because it's been proven that 90% of businesses fail. It's just that you have to try it over and over again. You're learning to be a better person, to be a better investor, to know how to handle money, to know how to build a business. So you might fail a couple of times and that can be some sort of a loss. But remember, the investment, sometimes it's the knowledge, it's the experience. All right. So use your active income to, invest in your side hustle. Don't just rely on your active income, which is the salary that you get every month. Because I can guarantee you today, if a billionaire loses everything, Elon Musk, Donald Trump, anybody that you can think of who has a lot of money, the last thing that they're going to think about is a job. They're going to think about something they can invest in. If they look for a job, it won't be, they won't try to get a good job whereby they'll climb, you know what I mean, on top of the corporate ladder, but they will think about a job. They will take any job that will give them money, and with that money, they will invest it into something else. So that is active income, guys. Let's do that. Then there's people who are self-employed, right? People who are working for themselves. That's also kind of like active income, because when you don't work, what happens? You don't get any money. Like if we can look at street vendors or anybody who's selling anything, those people, they can only get paid when they go to work. Do you understand? So that's not passive income. Do you understand? You still also have to work. Then we have people who invest, meaning that there's a company that is doing well. Maybe it can be Woolworths, it can be Capitec, it can be Absa, some company that you believe in. Then you put your money there. Do you understand? Then over time, it will grow depending on how well that company does. So that is some sort of passive income. The internet, right now, if you upload videos on YouTube and they have a lot of viewers, then there's a time whereby you will get money per view. Do you understand? So it depends on how many views you have and the CPM and everything, you know. That is also passive income, because the first thing, you have to put in the work first. Do you understand? You put in the work, you do everything. Then after some time, do you understand? After you have laid the foundation, it can make money for you. So that means you have to work hard. So to get a passive income, sometimes that means you have to do the groundwork. It's very important that you do the groundwork. Do you understand? And the last one is big businesses. Do you understand? That's when you leverage right now. It's very important that we leverage, guys, in this day and age. You cannot know it all. You cannot know how to do certain things. You can be good when it comes to speaking, but maybe you're not good when it comes to the internet. So that means you have to find people who are good when it comes to that. If you do music, maybe you're good when it comes to marketing, but you're not good when it comes to making music. So you have to find another producer who can do that. So that means you have to leverage other people's expertise, leverage other people's skills, use other people to get whatever you want. And I think that's the wrong word to use. Don't use them, empower them, because we are all winning. There's certain skills that you have that somebody else needs. So this thing of doing everything by yourself, it's impossible. If you want to be rich, you have to learn how to leverage, use other people's expertise to get what you want. Do you understand? So that means if somebody is good when it comes to sending emails, is good when it comes to marketing, good when it comes to building great relationships out there, use those expertise.
This is KSD podcast.
Okay, guys, another thing about investment, right? Investments are different for everybody. Something that you might consider as an investment, to me, it might not be an investment. It can be a liability, but it can be an investment for you. A lot of people, they say having a car, it's a liability because it loses its value. And yes, there's some truth in that. Yes, it does lose its value. But somebody can tell you that I actually started an Uber business. And with my car, I was actually able to make a lot of money, whereby it also paid off my car. And I'm still making more money. So for that person, that was an investment. Buying that car was an investment. So if another person will use that car just to party or to even go back and forth to work and stuff like that, and you're not using that car for anything but just to go to work or use that car to party or just to go to any destination that you want to go to, it can be a liability because it didn't bring you money. So when you use that car because it's good for your business, you need to travel, you need to meet people, then it can be an asset. So that person, maybe a wise decision is for him to buy a car rather than property. You get me? So let's get into property. A lot of people, they think that if I buy a house, if I buy property, then it's a good investment. And property, it is a good investment, but not all properties are a good investment. Because let's say, for instance, you rent out a flat for people to use as accommodation, for instance, and maybe they are paying 1,500. There's rates that you have to pay. All right, there's utilities that you have to pay. You have to maintain that place. Wi-Fi and stuff like that. Anything can happen. So maintaining it can be so much, whereby the money that you are getting, it's not even enough. and that can be because of the location. Because another thing that even getting tenants, it's not that easy to get those tenants. It's not easy. Do you understand? Naming you have to get an agent, and you have to pay even that agent. Let's say you don't get a tenant for the whole year, and you are paying for that property that is not giving you money. So sometimes property cannot be an investment. Don't think that if I have property, it's an investment. There's a lot of people who had to sell their property at a lesser price because it was not in demand. Do you understand? So there's so many ways we can look at this, guys. There's so many things that we can invest in. You understand? You have to know what works for you. All right. Right now, we live in a global world whereby everything is over the internet. You can have your own real estate over the internet, whether it could be a website. But if you're a person who knows how to create a website, but you don't have any content, do you understand? Who's going to subscribe to that website, to your email listing? What traffic are you going to attract? Who are the people who are going to visit that website? So somebody who has content maybe to put on that website can attract those customers. So investment can mean different things to everybody. Do you understand? We invest in buying a bigger TV. We buy bigger cars. That means, let's say, for instance, you're working at a certain job and you get an increase. A lot of times, what we do, we probably move to a bigger house. We renovate our house, which is good, guys. We buy a better car, a bigger TV. If you spend 1,000 every weekend, now you want to spend 5,000. And before you notice it, the moment you lose that job, what happens? You have more expenses that you have to maintain.
This is KSD podcast.